Live every night on the Halos in the Infield Baseball Network.
Think about it. We'll get into everything that we're going to get into as we go along, but I got to rant real quick. But why would you throw out an inexperienced pitcher in a game you're still close in? And I don't care what the record is, you show up for a fucking rivalry game. But he's actually talking to him constantly. That is a sign of a really, really good coach.
The ToddFox Postgame Podcast with your host, ToddFox.
Because the only thing I want to yell is fuck! Hey, welcome in everybody. We had all kinds of issues here today, just like the Angels did on this very day here on a early game, which finishes here on the West Coast here, close to 7 o'clock, close to 7:30, whatever. The Angels lose, and they lose to the Boston Red Sox, the Chowdaheads. Oh, I'm telling you, I'm so pissed off right now. We're going to get into everything what happened today. And first off, I'm going to say 714 tickets, 714 tickets. Yes, 714 tickets is a place to go where you put in you get 10% off on your purchase by just putting HITI, which is on my hat, Heedy, Halos in the Infield on the promo code. And then also upon checkout, then you get 5% back for an additional purchase. And then also you get into a winning or a drawing for a free jersey courtesy of 714 tickets and Halos in the Infield. So with that being said, what the fuck happened tonight? What happened to our Angels tonight? Why did they play the way they did and play down to their opponent once again? Because again, what happened tonight is all about stats. I don't understand where the Angels are, where their mindset was. We're going to go over the stats, and you tell me what a weird game this was. Because for a team that out-hit the other team, which the Angels did, 3 runs on 11 hits, but they had 3 huge errors. The Red Sox had 5 hits on 5 runs. Now, if you look at this real quick, the Red Sox, through their lineup, they have, this reminds me of the Angels last year, but late in the season. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 batters not batting 200. So you have 6 batters at a 150 or less clip, and 1 guy from Japan, 0. They really didn't do much on offense except for the Devers home run off of our boy Herget. Now, for the Angels, Patrick Sandoval didn't start this game all that hot. Now, he got a few strikeouts early after a 2-0 lead by Hunter Renfroe, and it looked like the Angels were onto something here. They scored 2 runs with 2 outs on that big double, almost a 3-run homer, and they had a nice little lead, a little 2-run lead, but Sandoval never gets a run support, and then he starts getting squeezed by the umpires, throwing a little bit too many pitches. He can't get out of the freaking 4th inning, or he only finishes, he can't get out of the 4th inning. So the Angels don't really do much there, right? So then right away after he gives up 2 runs, Herget comes in for about an inning, surrenders the home run to Devers. It's 3-2. But you had situations in the 4th inning. 1st and 2nd, nobody out. Renifo goes down on 3 pitches. 3 freaking pitches. That was it. There was no base hits. There was no trying to bunt. Not trying to swing the other way or pull the ball to try to get the runners over. Nothing. It was just a strikeout. And then you had Rendon with the air, that allowed that other run. It's just a soft throw to first. Mike Lamb can't make a play on it because he's throwing it 5 feet wide of the goddamn base. So you're thinking, okay, shit happens. Renifo later in the game, same thing, ground ball, routine play, loses it on the transfer from his glove to his hand, error number 2. Okay, then it's later on, 3-2 with a chance to get out of the inning, still only down 1. Once again, Rendon, the base runner, does exactly what he has to do, kind of gets in his way, and throws it over to Mike Lamb, again off the bag, and again another error. 3rd error, run scores. Then the next pitch, it's a freaking wild pitch, another run scores, 5-2. Angels again have 1st and 2nd, nobody out. Ohapi was striking out after Renifo was striking out. Renifo tries to bunt but pulls back on a pitch going right down the middle. The next pitch, he pops up the bunt. The next pitch, he then hits into an effective double play, killing the inning. And then they strand the runner at third because it changes O'Hoppe's approach to the plate. He's not trying to now just knock the ball somewhere to score a home run. He's trying to get a hit, and he pops out. Later in the game, O'Hoppe up with guys on base, strikes out. It was just not their day today. If you look at the stats right now, four men left on by Ward. You had 3 left on by Ohtani. And I'll tell you this right now. I've been killed for some of my takes on the podcast about Mike Trout. But what did Mike Trout do against the Washington Nationals? Go 0 for 16. On the podcast, I said that I hope that he turns it around, and I think he's going to turn around in Boston and in New York. Not strike out as much, get some doubles in. He got a double tonight, but he missed again, struck out a couple more times, and he looked foolish against Kelly Jansen, who, worst take of the night, anything that I say on this broadcast tonight can't touch the terrible take that your boy Dontrell D-Train Willis said tonight in saying that Kelly Jansen is a Hall of Famer. Now, if he's a Hall of Famer, Craig Kimbrell, Frankie Rodriguez, and you can name about 10 other closers should get in before him. Don't give me that shit that Kelly Jansen is a freaking Hall of Famer. That is one of the worst takes I've ever heard. And that was tonight via your boy right there, Dontrell Willis. Terrible. But besides the point, 2 soft throws over to first base changed the complexity of this game. It would be 3-3. Boston really didn't do anything. I mean, Ohtani had a bad night again. He's swinging at those, again, pitches down inside for some reason. He's uppercutting. He's trying to pull the ball. There's no need for it. Let the pitch come to you. How many times in this game did you see Ohtani look at pitches right over the middle? Now, at least with Trout, you're seeing those tailing fastball sliders on the outside corner of the plate. You're seeing the high fastballs. That's all they're throwing to Trout. All of it. The double he got is because he extended himself and got to it late and pulled it down the line. Other than that, he probably would have struck out there too. Ohtani, it's all down and in, down and in, down and in, and he's swinging. And then the pitches that are curveballs, then they're going over the middle or the outside part of the plate. He's just watching them. He's watching them like it's a good movie. Rendon, he had 3 hits tonight. So, 3 singles with nobody on. So it's not one of those things where, and he grounded out and got an RBI. Ooh, okay. But that still doesn't justify for the 2 runs that you gave up. Renfroe tonight had 2 more hits. My boy Mike, a.k.a. Jake Lamb. And then you got Drury. But it was Renifo again. O'Hoppe had a bad night, 2 strikeouts. You had a bunch of guys left on base tonight. Inexcusable. Go over the lines for the pitching tonight. Sandoval, 3 2/3, 2 runs, 3 hits. You wouldn't think that's much, but he had 6 strikeouts, 3 walks. You're like, oh man, he didn't have a good start. He's only got an ERA of 1.23. He just threw too many damn pitches. And then he got the errors, didn't help him out at all. Herget, an inning pitched, 1 run, 2 hits, 1 strikeout, but the home run was huge. Aaron Loopy-Loop, 2 hits and a walk and a strikeout, or 2 runs, I'm sorry. Jaime came in, pitched clean, 2 innings. That was at least good. But again, it didn't seem like Boston won this game. It seemed like we gave them this game. Please hit a like and subscribe, by the way, or hit a notification bell because we're on YouTube exclusively. I had problems with Instagram. Instagram wouldn't even load up and wouldn't load up to the other programs. So let's go over the Stamos Award for Player of the Game. And this one's going to be weird. So, Randy, you got your work cut out for you on this one. Now follow me. I tried to go over the Boston, you can maybe give it to Devers for that home run, the go-ahead home run, maybe give him to John Stamos for the best player on the field. I don't think so. As much as that's a solo blast, I don't think that was the game-winning hit or the game-winning, home run or whatever. You know who I'm going to give the John Stamos Award to for the best player on the field? For the Boston Red Sox? He's wearing an Angel uniform. He's wearing Anthony Rendon's jersey. Rendon switched sides. He gave Boston 2 runs. 3rd run if you want to call the wild pitch because that was another unearned run. So 2 errors. I'm going to give him 3 runs. So your player of the game is for Boston because he helped Boston get the win tonight. Rendon was terrible tonight. Terrible. This is always terrible. when you have to give it to an Angel. Now we're going to go for Nacho Night. And we might have a first right here on 2. So again, Randy, you got your work cut out for you making these posts later on, because this one's going to suck.
All the chips, all the cheese, all the refried beans, all the onion and tomato and the guacamole, all the beef and jalapeno and the sour cream, all the nachos. All the nachos. All the chips, all the cheese, all the refried beans, all the onion and tomato and the guacamole.
So who got Nacho Night? Who wins the prestigious award of those heaping salmonella nachos that come from Anaheim Stadium that are overpriced? Thank you, Artie Moreno. By the way, if you've noticed the prices going up, some people don't care, but the parking went up, the food went up. You don't think that's for all the bad comments we've been shoveling down their throats the last couple of years, for all the bad rep that Artie Moreno's gotten the last year or so in the public? Oh, that's a big FU to the fans. But besides that, let's talk about the Nacho Night. Let's see who gets the Nacho Award for worst performance on the field. And it's a first in 2 categories. Can you believe it? It's a first. Number 1, Anthony Rendon. He wins also the Nacho Night for 2 airs, the 300 runs that led to an uninspiring loss. But no, there's more. It's not just Anthony Rendon. No, he shares it with one and the only 3-time repeat offender of the Nacho Night Award. It goes to my boy who earned it again, Louis Renifo, leaving 6 men on base, not being able to freaking bunt, and hitting into a double play, and also committing an error. Those 2 were the MVPs leading to the Boston winning Game 1 tonight. Because Boston had no shot. With those stats I read off, they should not have won tonight. But Anthony Rendon gets the Stamos for helping Boston win offensively. And then he gets the Stamos again defensively, helping. I think he worked on both sides tonight. And you may disagree, but I don't care. Louis Renifo, he deserved it too tonight. Terrible. He's been terrible. The only person that has been worse out the gate this season has been David Fletcher, one Fletch facts tonight or this year. But Renifo seems to have come up every time with guys on base with a chance to change the perplexity of the game, and he screws it up every single time. It's been bad. I mean, it has been bad for Louis Renifo, and I don't want to see him win this award. I don't want to see him play like this, but he is playing like this every time, dude. And every time the other team is like here, let me sum it up what happened, okay? You had a ground ball to third, and right away Renifo snags it, or not Renifo, Rendon snags it, and you hear, but then the throw over to first, and you hear, and there it was. And here's my feeling on the game. If you want to hear a quote that sums up my feelings towards this game, it's this.
Like having sex. It's a painstaking, arduous task that seems to go on and on forever, and just when you think things are going your way, nothing happens.
Exactly. And Boston was just... They were just laughing at us the whole night tonight. That team is going to be a sub-500 team this year. And all year we're going to be hearing about how Trout and Ohtani got to get to the postseason. You can't get through it. That shitty broadcast by Apple again, now that we're 0-5 on, by the way, have not won an Apple broadcast. Our own guy on there slamming the damn Angels early in the game. They pull the highlight of the World Baseball Classic. What does that have to do with tonight's game? And then they get into just talking about how the Angels can't get to the postseason. You really think that's fair to an organization to keep bringing that crap up over and over and over? I want to give them, they are the worst goddamn. Okay, we did this last year with an Apple broadcast, and I'm going to do it again this year. Memo to Fernando and everybody else on Halos in the Infield. Randy, everyone, we're producing a show. The next Apple broadcast the Angels are on, we're doing a watch party live. I'm not going to watch that shitty broadcast. I don't want to hear the announcers. I don't care if Randazzo is one of our guys and he happens to be filling in too. Because the last couple times it wasn't. They had the worst guys out there. So I'm not gonna listen to their crap. I'm over Apple. I'm tired of Apple. I'm tired of it. So we were playing like the Bad News Bears tonight. And then we had these kind of moments too.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
And that was our pitching tonight. Just a bit outside. So it's tough tonight. We lose, we go down, we start the road trip 0-1 and 7 games. We always struggle in Boston and New York. And now we got to find ourselves as we move forward. So let's get into some of the comments here tonight. And again, check out 714 Tickets. A lot of people have been giving us praise for it. They've been saving a lot of money. Check it out. Put in the 10% promo code, which is Heedy. While we can use this game as tape on how to not to play baseball, so many different mistakes. Cali Halo also says Rendon and Renifo single-handedly threw this game away. Sean says Jake Lamb got of that one mishap by Rendon. Could have been recovered by Lamb. That's true, but that throw was terrible. That's all on freaking Rendon. Robert says freaking errors everywhere. Grillmaster says Black Tyler Wade and Rendon Nacho night tonight, or block Tyler Wade, I think he said. David Nazaro says I'm pissed too. Tired of losing winnable games. Terrible fielding. Still can't knock in with runners in scoring position. It is so true. The base running, whatever, we did a little bit better tonight, but we had nothing when it came to getting guys in scoring position. Boston, it's not like Boston was lighting it up either. Again, 6 guys in their lineup batting under 200, 1 at 000. And still we gave these guys 5 hits and 5 runs, 3 unearned. Roberts also, let's say also some trash panda. We teach them early, Callie says. Also, don't want to hear how Ohtani deserves better until he steps it up consistently with big at bats and runners in scoring position. Thank you, Robert. That's a hot take that the media and others just do not want to face because it's the truth. It is the freaking truth. Because as much as I'll say, my dad has some terrible takes. As much as my dad has some good takes on baseball because he's been watching it forever, sometimes he'll say, well, Trout's not hitting good since he got married. It has nothing to do with it. Or he'll say, boy, they had a packed house tonight. They never play good in front of full houses. No, it has nothing to do with it. It's not that type of thing. When it comes to Trout, that's why I've been ripping him. He can hit all the solo bombs he wants. He's Han Solo when it comes to home runs. There's a reason why he's had 40 home runs and 80 RBIs a couple times. Because when there is guys on base, he's not exactly driving into 2-run doubles. He doesn't swing for the doubles. He'll hit long fly balls, but he'll pop up, but he's not squaring it up to try to rip. Like if he were hitting those down the line like he did tonight and getting that double with runners in scoring position, I guarantee you the guy would be having 120, 130 RBIs. And, the last couple seasons we haven't been getting runners on for him, so I'll give him that credit. But he also hasn't been coming through clutch. Look at his runners in scoring position average in the last 4 seasons. I'll wait. It's not no A-Rod in his prime. It's none of these other guys in their prime. So that's where he's got to pick it up. Because he can Han Solo it all the time, but he's not exactly hitting no 3-run homers when we need him to. Or, like with the exception of the one at the Nats game. Or not Nats game, Toronto. So he needs to come through a lot more. Because we're going to need his production. Let's see also, and then Ohtani, same thing, dude. You want to get paid? You want that $500 million? Why does a rookie have the same amount of RBIs as you? If you're so damn good, Ohtani, how come you don't have 5 or 6 home runs? How come you're not leading the league right now? How come you're not driving in 14 to 20 RBIs right now? How come you struck out so much? I'm going to call both of them out. Yes, they're great players. He's a unicorn, Ohtani, because he's not the GOAT. He needs a bigger resume. Trout's working his way to a GOAT, and he will be a Hall of Famer. But come on, guys. You can do better than this. Because if they're hitting the ball without Walshy out there, with Rendon finding himself and other guys off the slow starts, why do we have to depend on Ohapi, a rookie? Why do we have to depend on Renfroe? Because the other guys aren't producing. So don't give me that crap. I want to see more. I want to see more hits. More hits like at least Ward. Ward's not trying to swing for the fences every time. He'll lay the bat and put the bat on the ball and get a line drive single, and he's totally cool with that. That's not hurting his ego. It's called getting on base. It's called moving guys over. It's called hitting a freaking RBI single. Don't need a home run every time. Sapphire says it's Rendon's fault. Grillmaster says Jake Lamb. I understand his name's Jake. That's the part of the joke. It's Mike Lamb to me. Walter's saying hi. Easy one on Rendon's hit and air. The white Tyler Wade is at least smart. Nah, he still runs himself out of jams all the time. Or into jams all the time, I should say. Hold on a second here. Jeez. Also, Fernando Mendez says Rendon and mediocre baseball is always as good of a pairing as Todd, the post-game show, and Lula issues. Yeah, that's about right. Did Rendon break the rules and win both? Yes, he did. That is a first. Showtime need to step up clutch with runners in scoring position, Mark Deo says. Also, Josh Rendon. I think that's a reference Chowdaheads is trying to put to Hamilton and Rendon. I love that quote. Leslie Nielsen is awesome. He sure is. Nick House says Red Sox didn't win this game. We just lost it. Absolutely. Also, Clown Show 714 tickets. James Cal says Trout can't seem to catch up to the velocity anymore. Jansen just blew it past him. Yeah, Sims, and Jansen is a one-trick pony. And so it's like he should be able to hit that fastball. I understand he did some stuff against the weak-ass National League, but this isn't the weak-ass National League. We should be playing a lot better than this. Also, let's see. Mateo says, Todd, where's the circus music? Oh, you want circus music? Well, here's how they played on the infield tonight. And this is the only thing that didn't happen tonight.
Ball 4. Ball 8. Low, and Vaughn has walked the bases loaded on 12 straight pitches. Boy, how can these guys lay off pitches that close?
Yeah, you had that, and then you had this one.
Yeah, Mo, that team sure did suck last night. They just plain sucked. I've seen teams suck before, but they were the suckiest bunch of sucks that ever sucked.
Here's a new John Stamos for Fernando.
I was pretty cocky. I want balls and John Stamos.
He was pretty cocky about the win tonight, but it didn't happen. Also, let's see, 714 tickets. Anthony Javi Baez Rendon. Yeah, look at Javi Baez. Boy, is he playing himself out of baseball. Grillmaster, you are going to get canceled here soon. The chair says the airs and wild pitches put me to sleep because I'm down with the sickness. Oh, I see what he did there, Mr. Disturbed right there. Shout out to James. I hope you get better. Get some rest, my friend. Please, man. Also, High Guy 54 says, watch us spark a fire in the Red Sox like we did in 2021 Mariners. We'd have to punch him or something like that. Something stupid would work that way. Robert also says, Grill, you're about to get canceled. Steven Vargas says, Angels look like they are in midseason form. Thumbs down. You know what? And it is a shame. It is a shame because you look at this lineup and it boggles your mind if this is not an analytics thing coming from up top with Perry, or this is a thing from Nevin, your boy. Why can't we just lay down a freaking bunt? We're obviously drawing walks, we're getting singles, and we're getting guys on base. What is the I can deal with not stealing bases, because the other day when I asked Fernando and Courtney and they came through and said, hey, you know what, who's going to steal bases on this team anyway? And they made some very valid points. So it's like, okay, I put that one aside. I'm not gonna pressure them or ask too much for stolen bases. If they come, they come. Whatever. We're never gonna have like a 50 stolen base type player. But my thing has been, how come we can't just lay down a bunt? How come we can't just swing the other way and kind of hit a weak ground ball to the right side, move the runners over, sort of like what Boston did, sort of what they did. First and second, chopper to the pitcher on the right side of the mound. Moving the runners over. The only play was first. An effective sacrifice. We don't do that. Look, I'm even good with Ohapi, a.k.a. Rookie of the Year, laying down a bunt. Leave it for Ward to get second and third in, and Trout. Let them clean it up. Why the hell do we just continue? Oh, no, we have all the confidence in the world in these guys. No, you don't. No, you don't. Runners in scoring position were one of the worst teams already. It's terrible. It just blows my mind how we continue to do this. Oh, and see, this is how I felt tonight, too.
Like a blind man at an orgy, I was going to have to feel things out.
Or like this.
Like a midget at a urinal, I was going to have to stay on my toes.
It just sucks, man, because we should be scoring runs and hearing this. But we don't. We just get this over and over and over. It's not fair, man. I want a team that can get some runs scoring and stop leaving guys on base. At least Rendon made it on the field today, and Infinite 91 says. And when that's a positive, there's a problem. Grillmaster says Urshela is solid, though. Robert says, I'm going to call out Nevin to your on a 1-year contract along with Ohtani coming up on a free agent coach every day like a damn ducking playoff game, playoff game. We have to win now. Play Gio every day. What the hell are we doing? Well, these games, think about it, guys. If you want to chalk this up to just a loss, an error loss, this wasn't a bullpen game. So we had just a bad pitch performance by my boy Suarez, by the way. And then you had this loss here today. So you can't blame the 6 losses on, or all 6 losses on the bullpen. But the bullpen has given up 4 runs, or 4 games. The rest of the game, the Angels offense, I think, has played a real bad part in costing us because we just can't score. And even in the games we've won, we're barely winning because we're not putting out. This team has a lot. Think about it. This offense, and I realize not everyone's going to fire on all cylinders all year. They're going to be sporadic at times. Some guys are going to be hot. Some guys are going to be cold. Some guys are just going to be whatever. But at some point, man, this lineup is good enough to string across 5 to 6 runs every game. That's my opinion. You may disagree, but when Walshy's back, there's no holes in this lineup. There really isn't. Because as bad as Walsh looked last year, he was injured, A, and B, that shift just annihilated him because he refused to go to the left side. That's not going to be an issue this year. But it is your big guys, Trout and Ohtani, that are really dropping the ball in these first 13 games. They should have way better numbers. They would have killed for guys being on base this much this year, last year. There was nobody on base for them, whether they hit or not. This year, you got a bunch of guys ahead of them and on base, and they're not getting it done. Cali Halo says, Rendon looked too good to start the game and decided to make up for it, I guess. Law of averages. Steven says, my heart can only break so many times. Oh, I feel so bad for you. Sim says, should Nevin have left Sandoval in longer? Herget gave up the homer to Detmers. No, I think you're screwed right there. You have 90 pitches already. It's like, damn, dude. I can't see you putting him in there any longer. You've already stretched him out and everything. Where's the Pac-Man die sound? I forgot about that one today, Mateo. I'll get to that one. Big Hammer saying hi. XNC says, team can't field, can't bunt, can't score with runners in scoring position. Just pain watching them playing. Try to hear says, one night it's the pitching. Next night it's the hitting. Now our fielding sucks. Again, you're getting losses that you shouldn't be getting. You're playing inferior teams. The month of April, on paper, looks good enough. When you get the confidence as an Angel fan to think, hey, man, we should be a lot better than we are. You can't sit there and say, yeah, we're a better team, because in all actuality, we're about 500 right now, or 7-6. Middle of the road. And yeah, it's only 13 games in. We're not the Tampa Bay Rays, blessed with an easy schedule and a good team. That team, no matter who they're playing, you have to win those games. So that's why, I don't get too hyped. When I saw Oakland and Kansas City prior to the homestand, I felt on the homestand the Angels should go no worse than 4-2. And I was predicting 5-1. I figured by that time, we're probably sitting there, win the first game against Boston. We could be, 9-4, 10-3, and I'm thinking ahead before the homestand. This is before the homestand. And then I'm thinking, if we win 4 out of 7 on the road trip, we're looking pretty against Oakland, who's god-awful this year, and Kansas City that's not too far behind them. We should kick the crap out of them once we come back home. Now it's like, why do I do that? Why do I put myself through that thinking I have high hopes for this team when you've shown me nothing for the last 8 years? When you put a great team on the field, on paper, they still got to play the game. And so far, we're middle of the road again. And it just sucks losing the games you got to win because these games really don't matter to other teams that have a history of winning. You think Houston cares that they're under 500 at this point in the season? No. There's no pressure on them because they've been to the postseason year after year after year after year. You think the Dodgers care about Arizona being in first place for a couple weeks? Who cares? You know they're going to be there in the end. Why? They have the talent. They have the consistency. They have the organization. They have the ownership. What do the Angels have? No ownership. No consistency. Players that you can't trust. Rendon. And many more. Contracts being held over their head. There's a lot of pressure, even this early in the season, on the Angels to succeed. Because let's just say the Angels lose their next 6. It's going to be, oh, here we go again. And then you're going to have people and Angel fans jumping off the bandwagon already. And some say good riddance, more tickets for me. But it makes it look bad when you can't even fill up your stadium before the All-Star break. But that's on the organization. That's on the management. That's on the team and the players to perform. And for whatever reason, you can't go into a series. I don't care how Halo honkish you are. You cannot go into a series and be like, hey, I got all the confidence in the world, baby. 3 out of 4, easy. I mean, Rally Chris does that no matter what. He does that in his sleep. He's like, 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3. But can you say that in all actuality with a right mind 100%? You can't. You can't sit there and tell me, oh, we're going to dominate today. Sandoval's going to go 7 innings. Renfro's going to hit a couple home runs. Trout's going to come through. Ohtani's going to knock in an RBI. We win 8-2. First off, I tell you, if Sandoval ever gets 8 runs, it'll be 3 starts worth. They don't like giving him run support. It's sad because he's a good pitcher. Even when he has crap like he had crap today, he was still hitting the strike zone. They weren't hitting the ball hard off of him. He left only with a tie because of a Rendon error. So we have good starting pitching. I'm not going to sit here and blame them. The bullpen's been shaky, yes. But the overall huge problem has been runners in scoring position and the just desire not to bunt. It's like we're allergic to it. We don't want to try it or do it. Like every time they come up with an opportunity to bunt, every time I'm yelling at the TV,
Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true! Just do it!
Just bunt. Just do it. But then you know what happens? A double play or a ground out, and then I say this.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Yep. Courtney checks in, my girl. She says, my heart hurts. Nick House says, Sandoval looked great today, too. Bad the defense couldn't support him. I don't even get mad at losses, as Move 777 says, like this anymore since I'm so used to it. And that's the problem. That's the problem. If you're an old enough Angel fan, you don't even have to go back to the 80s and 90s. You don't even have to go back to 2002. Just think about the years between 2004, 2005, all the way up to 2010. The Angels would sometimes start off very slow in April, and they'd look sort of mediocre. But I challenge the Angel fan in you at that time, when you were younger, to remember how you felt when they got off to a slow start. Were you hitting the panic button? Were you worried about contracts? No. You had a non-meddling owner at the time. Artie was actually keeping his nose out of things. You had Mike Scioscia, stable manager, stable management around the team. Still good scouts on the team. decent general manager, the team always came through. You were as good as an Astros fan is today. You didn't worry. You were like, I'm going to continue to go to games. It's a slow start, but we'll get it going. You had all the confidence in the world. And the team proved you right. They kept at first place or second at worst, and they were in the thick of the playoffs or in the playoffs themselves every year. Competitive. And that's all you want from a baseball team. 3 million fans every year. That's what you wanted. Instead, what you have today, 1 for 14 with runners in scoring position. 6 walks. 3 errors. And that's when you're thinking the defense is good. And then you lose to inferior opponents. I remember those years very, very fondly. We'd go toe-to-toe with the big boys. And then we'd beat up on the bad teams. But since 2010, with the exception of 2014, teams like Detroit, a down year for Boston, teams like Texas, Oakland, and other teams that we've faced over the years, Kansas City, will nip us in the butt. And we play down to the competition. And we wonder why we go and face New York and other teams like Tampa, why they beat the hell out of us. Because we don't play to our potential. And it's like they don't think. You know, certain games, like there's no consistency. Certain series, I'm seeing these guys glued to their tablets like my kids were to their video games. And they're actually trying to learn and they're trying to adjust. And it looks like we're doing something, unlike years past with Reed and Sereno. Yet this year, you'll go a couple games and they're not even looking at their tablets. They're not even charging their tablets. And the coaches sometimes are just standoffish. Sometimes they'll be right in their face or talking. And you're like, all right, this is what they need. They need the encouragement. They need the extra motivation. They need the talking to and stuff like that. And then there's other games where the entire team looks disinterested. And I think that's what we haven't seen in the last few years is these fights amongst players or against the opposing team. Like the only thing I could cheer for and say, yeah, that's my boy right there and feel good about saying that's my boy was Suarez. At least he didn't come out of the game smiling. You know, like Chowdaheads had a couple times last year after blowing a couple games, giving up some runs. Some of our pitchers were just like nonchalant, whatever. Or Rendon smiling after he strikes out. But you saw my boy Suarez come to the dugout the other day when he gave up some runs and slam his fist and throw his glove. That's what they need. That's what they need. We need more emotion on this team. We need more guys saying, hey, man, it's going to be all right. You're going to go out there. Because earlier in the game, first inning, Trout goes over to Renfroe, tells him something. Renfroe hits that big double. There needs to be more of that, too. I don't know what that comes down to, if it's coaching or whatever, but I'm just seeing a lot of missing things. Okay. Getting back to it, Trout here says Oakland, Washington, and Boston. That's pretty easy schedule. To lose to these teams is ridiculous. Agreed. 100%. Toronto, as much as we, and that's the thing, we could have swept Toronto. We could have swept Toronto. We could have been swept by Washington. That's the thing that just mind F's you right away. Mateo says, stop it. Get some help. I think that's a request, and I will.
Stop it. Get some help.
And this is us trying to get a win tonight, and Jansen just telling us this.
You serious?
Yeah, and then you had also Big 20 saying, yo, it's a party night now, and I'm talking to some girls, so yeah, all right. Clutch hitting is our biggest problem right now, Trout here says. Where's the Danny Glover quote? That'll come up here in a minute. Artie can gain some brownie points if he's willing to eat up the remainder of Rendon's contract and DFA him. If he plays like this the rest of the year, guys and gals, he should. He owes us that. MLB needs a salary cap. Amen, Cali Halo. They need a floor to where cheap-ass teams like the Marlins and the Reds have to pay the floor at least, and then a ceiling to where you can't go over to where you get hit with draft compensation, like draft picks being stolen, and heavy-ass fines. To either not heavy, no, fines don't matter to Cohen and other owners. I take that back. What they need to do Say, for instance, they say the luxury tax is $200 million. You can't go over $200 million. Okay, let's work within that. And let's make everybody balanced. Let's have a floor of 100 and a ceiling of 200 to where it's not that bad, where we're not going 4 times over the lowest rated team. Then, if you say, for instance, Dodgers want to be cute and go 230, well, then that $30 million comes off your 200 next year, and you're paying only 170. And if you want to go over that, that's going to go off to the next year, and so on and so on. And F you, play within the rules. But no, it will never happen, a salary cap in baseball, and it sucks because the players' union was allowed to get too powerful. They are really powerful. There's no way. Baseball would go away for 3 years before that would actually happen. I mean, they would literally sit out 3 years. They wouldn't do it. Let's see. Also, Alex says that's not true. Artie blocked a Miguel Cabrera, Dontrell Willis trade back in 2005. Alex, that wasn't Artie. That was Regan's. Regan's thought Mathis, McPherson, Irvin Santana, and Brandon Wood, and there was another player that the Angels were going to send to the Marlins were too good to get those players. And you forgot A.J. Burnett was in that package as well. Marlins were looking to totally unload. Imagine that team with Vladimir Guerrero, Miguel Cabrera, Dontrell Willis, A.J. Burnett. Holy shit. And Bartolo Colon? That would have been World Series all the way. I know Bauer is in Japan. We need to find a way to get him here. He ain't Trout here. He's on a redemption tour. He's got to pitch a full year in Japan before they let him back. I'm just letting you know right now. David Nazaro says Sandoval was good enough, but the errors in the fourth screwed him. He should have gotten out of that inning easy. Instead, he had to throw 15 more extra pitches, and that's the bullpen time. Mateo says, I want something to cheer for in August and September. Damn it, Mateo, since I've known you, for the 3 years that you've been a fan of this page and you've been constantly on here, and I thank you for everything that you've contributed. Mateo has never seen a postseason game. He's young enough to never have seen an Angels postseason game, I think. And all he wants to do is see this team get into the postseason. Or I think he started following baseball, after the Angels had already made their playoff runs. So he's not seen meaningful baseball in August and September. Guys like him, an entire generation has missed playoff baseball. So, yeah, that's a shame. Also, I still get mad at these losses. I hate losing. I really hate giving games away. Yeah, David. And you have these myopic Angel fans that are still out there saying it's only April. Tell me that when the team has made 5 or 6 consecutive postseasons. Then I'll say, oh, yeah, it's only April. But when we don't have a track record of doing that with the current roster, even supposedly the best player in baseball, you can't sell me on that. Suarez isn't looking good at all, Alex says. I agree. That was my boy. I thought he was going to turn some heads. It's only 2 starts in, but damn it, I have a feeling that this start against New York is make or break, and I think it might break because, again, in New York, they're giving him the worst opportunity. I mean, they gave him an easy start against Washington, and he shit the bed. Now he's going to New York where, again, you could bunt the ball off of Stanton or Judge's bat, and it could go over the fence. So I don't have a good feeling about that game. Drury can't hit to save his life. Yeah, here's the thing, Restunning, and this isn't an excuse, but I heard this morning, and he is a terrible April hitter throughout his career. Okay, well, let's see what he does in May, because he ain't going nowhere. I'm on the fence with that one too, Restunning. Robert says ship Rendon up the 5 freeway. That'd be a good move. Salary floor, yes, but salary cap, hell no. Tell that to the 13-1 Rays, $72 million cap. We'll see, Alex. They're the rare team that can work within those parameters. But you have simply teams like Colorado, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh. Those are big markets. But we don't think of them as big markets because they're not contending like big market teams. And it's a shame. They should be in the thick of things playing ball too. But they never do because they're too cheap and they're allowed to be cheap. And it sucks. I mean, that's why the NFL ideally doesn't like the Jacksonville Jaguars to be good because that's not a good franchise. It's not in a big market. That's why they're trying to move them to London or move them somewhere in a bigger city. You don't want those teams to win. But Carolina, a small market, those teams will win. Those teams will reach the postseason and go deep. And it's kind of good for football because you never know who's going to win. It's not like basketball where only 4 or 6 teams in the beginning of the season are going to be there in the end. The rest are just playing it out. It's the same thing. But with baseball, it's gotten a little better over the years. There's more teams that are competing, extra playoff spots, things like that. But damn, there's still a haves and a have-nots. And that's the problem. Yeah, Tampa Bay can play over their head and they're just one of the smartest teams out there. Oakland used to be like that too. But Oakland just totally gave up. But Tampa Bay is fighting for their lives, fighting to keep the team there. And their organization is as smart as hell. That's the only reason why they contend all the time. They're smart. Let's see. Also, As Move says, should we be taking advantage with all these teams in our division are losing? We should be. Yeah, that's what yeah, exactly. I agree with you. Dylan says, well, I guess we won't be 7-2 now. Exactly. Robert also says, called that early. He looks lost no hitting plan at the plate. That's with Drury. Yeah, you did. Also, it's only April. It's only the All-Star break. It's only baseball. Stephen Bagos. A lot of people have been saying that when it's in July and August, it's like, no, we're pretty much eliminated. Correction, I mean 7-0. Yeah, Dylan was looking for the sweep. Mateo says, when we get home, we play Kansas City and Oakland. Then we're on the road for the Brewers and Cardinals. After that, we play the Rangers and Astros. Yeah, and those next 4 series are not easy at all. Those the Brewers have good pitching, timely hitting. What do you call it? They're not an easy team to beat. St. Louis is St. Louis. Hold on a second. I had to text something out right now. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Also, Dylan says, surprisingly, our bullpen didn't cost us all those runs, just our mediocre defense tonight. Steven Weigel says, if the Angels ship Rendon to the Dodgers, the Halo curse would go into effect. Rendon would have a major comeback. I agree. I started following the Angels in 2015. Oh, that's a bad year to follow. Here's the thing. Things look bad against the Yankees, but we'll probably win that series, then lose to Oakland at home. I can see that too, and that's unfortunately real. Surprisingly, let's see, I already read that one. Callie says, Rendon will be a stormtrooper this Halloween with that stormtrooper accuracy. Exactly, dude. The laser pointing is great. Like Todd said, I don't know what a playoff game atmosphere games are like, or don't know playoff atmosphere. My homie pointed out to me Drury is the only good pinch hitter, and I'm starting to believe him, not a starter. So yeah, so Drury probably is. I didn't know too much of his career except when he got, he did get some playing time in Cincinnati, and then he got some playing time in San Diego last year. Hit 28 homers and 97 RBIs. I just hate being the joke of the MLB. Infinite 91 says, yeah, and that's the problem. This team has been the joke for some time now, so that's a huge problem right there. Mateo says, is anyone planning on going to the All-Star game? That's up in Seattle. I don't know. I don't think I would go up there. I've been to that stadium. It's nice, but I'm not an all-star type guy. I've had opportunities to go to the home run derbies and stuff. I kind of just passed on it. Is anyone planning on go? Oh, let's see. I already read that one. Sean disagrees with As Move 777, talking about Drury being a pinch hitter only, good pinch hitter only. We should beat up on Kansas City and the A's, Mateo says. Sean says we should win that series. Nick House says they should move Rendon to the bullpen. He was throwing some nasty cutters to first base. Yeah, backspin was crazy. Dylan says, can we get a clone of Arenado, or an Arenado, I can't even say his name, and get Walsh back at first base, please? Well, that's gonna be coming sooner than later, hopefully. We still haven't gotten a timetable, but we just keep hearing about Walsh. There's really no real good updates other than that's it. We're not hearing anything. Even when I check in with Roger, all he says is,
tonight, it's time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and John Stamos.
So we're not really getting any kind of information from anybody. Robert says, where's Squid? If you guys want to call in, we'll take a few phone calls. It's 714-598-3221, 714-598-3221. That is the number to call to get on the line right here. Let's see. Here's the first phone call. It's the Halo Honk line.
You gotta be. What the dude, bro? And I don't know what the fuck was that. I'm just shocked. Like, Sandoval was on. Like, he wasn't bad. It was pretty good. And Renifo had to fuck that up, man. And it started all that chaos. Then Rendon made an error, and another error made by Rendon, and we lost. And the Red Sox's offense is shit. Yet, and it showed. Because, like, three of the unearned runs were runs were unearned. And if he hadn't made those errors, we would have won. It's like, god damn it. Like,
yeah, you had 3 unearned runs. You had the errors. You had Renifo, no runs running in scoring position. And you had Boston fans doing this every time Rendon threw over to first. So,
yeah. You can't be doing this if you want to compete. Like, fucking Christ.
yeah. It's terrible, man. Well, go ahead.
Yeah. And our offense is like shit. Like, Ohtani's not hitting. Ohtani's not clutch. Trout's not clutch. No one's clutch. Like, we're 1 for 14 and runners in scoring position. That's horrible. That's like, God, oh my God, that's trash.
Yeah.
We need to be like fucking at least 6 for 14 if you want to compete. Like, and I don't know why the fuck we haven't hit. I don't know why we haven't put Urshela instead of Renifo, man. If Urshela was in those situations, like runners in scoring position, we'll be like 8-3. Like, we would have won. Like, he knows how to hit.
And here
you don't fucking. Yeah, let's go.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing about Renifo, though. If I want to cut in real quick, is he lost. Well, he didn't lose, but he wound up winning his case against the Angels arbitration, right? When you're in arbitration, you talk crap about your own players. You're telling them, hey, man, they don't justify wanting the money that they want for the arbitration. And you would think most players that get talked crap about by their own organization in arbitration usually come out and have a good year. Now I'm starting to think, well, maybe Perry knew something. Maybe Perry knows that he's not worth that money, because right now Renifo's not building a strong case for himself. It seems like the judge got the wrong, awarded the money to the wrong team, because, I think they should have cheap skated Renifo the way he's been playing so far. I mean, he does not look like the guy that we saw for the bulk of last year.
And maybe, like, there was less pressure because, like, he was, like, pretty good in September. I guess maybe there was less pressure to, like, perform. Maybe that's that, but maybe it's just wrong. Who knows? But, yeah, you were right about Ohtani not fucking hitting when we need him. Like, oh, yeah, he might hit a solo shot, and we might lead 9-0, but we still might lose that game anyways. He doesn't fucking hit when we need him. Like, when with bases loaded, like, in the Blue Jays, he could have hit a grand slam and we would have won. Instead, he took the first pitch right down the fucking pipe and we lost. Because he tried to hit a fucking ball that was like 10 inches inside. Like, we're not gonna win. Like, Ohtani, if you wanna fucking win and, like, get paid, you gotta be clutch. Like, you gotta be, like, I seen these, like, replays today, like, Adley Rutschmanson or, like, fucking, Lindor. They, like, hit grand slams or something. And, like, tied it or, like, fucking took the lead in, like, the late innings. We need to be like that. Like, you can't just, like, fucking score 10 runs and, like, lose 11-10 because we can't score in a clutch moment. Like, we can't be doing that shit.
Yeah, I mean, we had, like, 20 men on in that game. So, I mean, it's been frustrating all around. I mean, this team keeps finding new ways to lose. So.
Yeah, like I don't know what to say anymore, man. Like, it's not the bullpen. It's like the bullpen only gave up like one run. It's the defense today. It's like the Angels. Like, I don't know, man. Like, the Angels find new problems every year. 2021 is pitching. 2022 is offense, and 2023, who knows? We might be a good team. We might not. I hope you are, because I want to see Ohtani and Trout win the World Series. But
Yep.
it's early, so it's.
One game at a time, my friend. I could feel the frustration through the line, but let me get to some of these other calls. Good call as always, Supra. Have a good one, man.
Yep, you too.
All right. They're super right now. That opens up a line right there, 714-598-3221. So much for the D-Train mentioning on live that he liked Rendon's bounce throws before the game, and then he makes 2 errors shortly after, right? That's why D-Train is so good. It's the Halo Honk line.
Hey, Todd. It's the Lone Star Halo. All right, bro. I am so tired of being tired of hating Rendon. At this point, dude, what more does this guy have to prove to show us? And anybody who was still on the Tio Tony train needs to get off immediately. Dude, this guy is the most can't hack it, can't make a throw, doesn't give a flying fadoodle player on the planet. This guy cares so little that it's absolutely sad to watch him play baseball.
I agree. I mean, like that's the thing that's been bothering us since we started this show. I think was it Rendon's first year when we started this show?
No, his first year was 2020. We started in 2021.
There you go. Okay, so but we knew he did some numbers there because we couldn't really, you couldn't really. That season should have never took place, but at least he played the bulk of the games. And I remember me and you were down on him for the injuries and stuff like that. And we kind of gave him a mulligan, but he's like you said, it's gone on year after year. The fact that he has such a bad attitude, like you said, and it's like, dude, I mean, even like. What's lost in translations, Fernando, he got 3 hits tonight, but none of that matters.
No, not at all. I mean, yeah, the hits were great. Yeah, you drove in a run. Okay, but you're also one of the biggest reasons why we lost this game. You know what, man? I can deal with a player making an error. That happens. What shouldn't happen is these nonchalant plays. You're getting paid $38 million. At least pretend like you care enough to take the time to make a solid throw. The problem is he took too much time. You know what I mean? If it was just a throw that went over, it went into the opposing team's dugout, all right, cool, that happened. Tatis did it all the time, and he got paid. My whole thing is when you're not even trying, what are you doing, dude? You're a Gold Glove caliber third baseman. That's all we ever hear. Well, at least his defense is good. And now we don't even get that. If he's not on the field, we're wishing that he was suspended still.
Yep.
It's embarrassing, dude. I'm so over this guy. I don't care what he does the rest of his contract. Honestly, I'm out. The Rendon ship has sailed. Get the hell off. You know what? I'm hoping your family's listening. That was the whole thing, right? He was like, well, some of my family members see the mean tweets. You know what, man? I hope your family's listening. And I hope they tell you that you are an embarrassment to their entire family. But they won't. Why? Because they're milking you for what it's worth, $38 million. And he's milking the fans, and he's milking Artie. And at the end of the night, he's the one laughing his way to the bank.
Yeah, when you talk about milking Artie, I think of the movie with Star Wars where what is it? It's Luke Skywalker and he's milking that weird alien character and drinking the milk. I think that's what Rendon's doing to Artie Moreno's nipples. He's milking him for all that $38 million of green liquid that's coming from his teats because it's a shame. It's a shame that this team had paid a guy that much money, and I've never seen a player who in any sport can come out and say, well, the sport I've played all my life and is my profession and I'm totally better at than you, I don't care about. I don't watch it, I don't like it, I don't root for it. It's like, I don't care. And it shows on the field.
Here's the thing. He's definitely not the only athlete who has that mentality. I mean, there was a football player. God, I forgot his name. A couple of years ago, I want to say he was on the Washington football team when they were still the racist name. But I want to say like he got like exiled from the league because he was like, oh yeah, I just do this for a paycheck. It's just, I get it. There's probably tons of athletes who just play it for a paycheck, but they hide it. Or at least they try to hide it. Rendon doesn't even do that. He's so vocal about, well, I don't even like baseball. Oh, I don't watch baseball. Okay, cool. You know what, bro? You don't have to watch baseball. You don't even have to like it. But if you're going to go out there and rob, a potential minor leaguer or whoever who actually wants to be there, say what you want about Fletcher struggling, but the guy wants to be there. Yeah, he's nonchalant, but I've never seen David Fletcher mail it in.
That's true.
I've never seen Brandon Drury. There's a lot of Angels fans right now who are like, oh, I don't really know if Brandon Drury's earned his halo. Brandon Drury's earned 14 halos over Anthony Rendon's what? One because he got a walk-off hit last year against the Nationals? What do you freaking do? He got 3 hits today, and who cares? Nobody.
Mm-hmm. Because if guys like me don't bring it up in the box score or you, they're not going to remember the 3 hits he got tonight. You're not going to care.
No.
It was the errors that cost us a game.
Exactly. It's just, I'm tired of the laziness. I'm tired of his nonchalant attitude. I'm ready for a new era of a third baseman who actually wants to be here. But that's all I got, man. We'll talk later. Have a good one.
You got it, Fernando. Take care. That opens up a line right there, 714-598-3221. Right away. It's the Halo Honk line.
Yeah, this is David Navarro, a.k.a. Mr. Navarro here. I want to talk about the walks. We had 6 walks tonight.
Mm-hmm.
You can't win with that. That's what really hurt us. And the other thing is, again, the poor fielding. We have not invested or we haven't gotten a real shortstop, a true defensive shortstop on this roster here. I think we got guys like Renifo and Fletcher on the roster. It's just a stopgap until Neto comes up. But, all year long we've been seeing poor fielding. It's hurt us. We have probably been there's only been a couple games that we actually really deserve to lose. We've probably deserved to win about 85% of these games, and they were winnable. And it seems to me that we're just giving them away with poor fielding and, bad pitching. And the walks, that's the thing that's just killing me here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, free bases. Like I always, especially with the Angels the last few years, I've always been under the mindset if you can get that first out, you're in good shape. I can understand if a guy reaches out, pokes one into the outfield, okay, he beat your best pitch. But if you're giving up a walk, like you said, those leadoff walks, what does Gooby and all the other guys from any telecast will say or radio? They'll say leadoff walks will turn around and bite you in the butt. They always get you. And it just seems when the Angels give up a leadoff walk, something happens. I mean, look at Loop tonight. He hit the first 2 batters, both of which he had 2 strikes on.
Yeah. And the other thing is these walks to guys like Connor Wong. Yeah. Connor Wong can't hit the ball.
Yep.
The kid in front of him, Catholic, he can't hit the ball. You should just be going right after these guys. And to give up 2 walks to Connor Wong, it frustrates me to absolutely no end. I mean, that's why the Angels we're not getting it done because we're making stupid plays like that where we're not getting it done with the pitchers on the mound, and we're getting poor fielding. I wish Levon Soto was playing better down at AAA. He's only hitting like $163. But I really miss having a real true shortstop on this roster.
I do too. I think if Urshela wasn't signed, Soto would be up here. Or if Drury wasn't signed, Soto would be up here. One of those 2 guys took that roster spot for him. I loved how he played at the end of the year last year. I'm not with the love for Fletcher anymore. I think he's defensively a liability as well. He doesn't have a strong arm. So, yeah, and when you're constantly interchanging these guys, you're not going to get any cohesive consistency up the middle trying to turn double plays, not knowing where guys are at. And then Rendon's over there on an island just throwing lame ducks over there to first base. So,
we're not making the double plays. We haven't been doing it all year. It's awful. It's very frustrating. And I'm over Fletcher. I'm done with it. I really like Urshela. I really like him out there. I wish he could be our everyday third baseman. I wish we didn't have that horrible contract with Rendon. And I'm really looking forward to either Soto or Neto getting up here because we got to do better. We got to do better out there in the field.
Yeah, we literally can't hover these last 4 series to end the month or whatever 5 series. We can't hover around 500, and expect nothing to be changed. Like I know Perry's feeling it. He's got to make some moves. He's got to make this team better before we get into May and deep into May. Because I mean, look, we're not stupid here. We know Houston's going to turn it around. We know Seattle's going to turn it around. Texas might be a threat, but I still don't buy them. But you got 2 teams right there. You got the entire East, which is going to be fairly good, and that's what you got to compete with. And you can't lose to these cheap ass teams. We're playing everybody this year.
Right.
So.
No, that's right. These teams, but even to these games against the Blue Jays, that's a quality team. Man, we had the Blue Jays beat. We gave it away. When you're up 6-0 in what was it, the 6th inning or something?
Yeah, we
that's
lost.
That's a game you got to. We're at home. You got to close that deal, and we didn't get it done. We're up here again, 2-0 on the road. And just giving it away, and that's what just drives me up the wall. I can't stand it. And anyways, Todd, you're doing a great job with this show. I love the show. I found you like a week and a half ago. I've been a loyal listener ever since. Keep doing what you're doing.
Hey, really appreciate it, man. And we're definitely gonna have some giveaways in May and I'll have one with your name on it for being a new listener and everything, man.
I look forward to that, and if you do have a game, if you have some kind of meetup down at the Angel Stadium in July, I look forward to meeting you in person.
You got it, sir, and thanks for calling in. And yeah, we'll have more announcements on that as we move on here.
All right, cheers. Have a good night.
You too. Great call right there. That'll leave another line open right here. We got some comments coming in too. Ohtani pitches every 5th day and goes and leaves 2 of 4, 3 of 4 on base. Is he actually worth $500 million? Does he strike out once a game with runners in scoring position? Those are legitimate questions to ask. It's the Halo Honk line.
Hi, Toddy buddy. It's Friday night.
It doesn't feel like a Friday night for me because I work graveyard, so like all mixed together. But go ahead. It's going to change next week. Yay, I'm on days. Woohoo! But go ahead.
Yeah. Well, guess what? I might be getting the job tomorrow morning. And
what?
I'm already off 2 Coca-Colas.
You're on 2 Coca-Colas already.
Yep, because it's Friday night and I had a shitty day today at school, and I had a shitty day this afternoon, so I'm just trying to have a little fun tonight.
Well, you know what, man?
Blue, you're my boy!
Yeah, I think you'll be fine. But I got to get you into some Shirley Temples. That should, help you get through things.
Yeah.
Mind if I pull the underwear on my crack?
It's just because I'm not going to go back to my high school because I realize everyone's a jerk. And I just had a rough afternoon because me and my mom got in a big argument, and then we just she just snapped on me, and I had a really bad afternoon, and I told her everything. So
if you told her off and you said some things you didn't want to say, my advice to you, been there, done that, apologize. Apologize even if it's her fault, man. You only get one mom and they're not around forever.
Yeah, I did. Made up. We got food and stuff, but I'm not going back to high school this year. I put me on time and we might do home class.
Wait. It's that bad?
Yep, it's that bad. Every day I'm thinking every day I feel like I don't belong on this planet and I want to commit suicide and shit like that. Yeah, so.
Dude, you're calling the wrong number if that's the case, dude. Look, private message me on this one afterwards, dude, because not you.
All right, okay.
Because first off, this isn't something to be having in front of all these people. Number one, and number two, bro, never ever think that. Trust me, I'll talk to you afterwards. I'll even shoot you my number, dude.
Yeah. Well, okay.
All right.
Well, yeah,
hey,
I'm having a good night so far, but
you don't sound it. Why don't you DoorDash or have someone go get you a freaking case of Mountain Dew and get back into a happy mode. And then after the show, I'll hit you up.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna crack a soda right now just for the show.
Okay, good. You turn that frown upside down. You got me?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'll hit you up after.
All right. And I'm gonna go jump in the pool right now and go jump in a.
Okay. As long as you stay afloat, that's all I care about. All right?
Yep.
All right.
All right. I'll call in tomorrow night. Hopefully we get the win tomorrow. And go Angels.
Okay. Go Angels, buddy.
Later.
Huh. How do you move on from that? Must DoorDash 20 some. Yeah, I got to get him some Baja Blast, dude, on tap. Where do I go back from that? Jeez, because that was a bunch of breaking news.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story.
Well, let me just say this real quick because I'm trying to make the most of these sound bites I was adding today. And that felt like a G.I. Joe moment, which is something like this where I would give him a good PSA and then he would go,
"Smart thinking.
Now I know.
And knowing is half the battle."
G.I. Joe.
Yeah, I miss those days. I got to give him a G.I. Joe moment. I need Hammer to be like, and yeah, that's better. And now you know. You're wrong number, bro. Oh, man. Wow. So, getting back to it real quick, because that threw me off like a mother. Jeez. So, yeah, we got a game tomorrow. Saturday, and we got early game on Sunday. Monday is going to be, I think, a breakfast with the Angels. We're going to do a pregame. That's at 8 in the morning, dude. And I don't start my new job till Wednesday, so I'm off. And I already talked to James. And if he's feeling better, me and James are going to I'm going to co-host. He's going to lead the pregame show. And we're going to be live, probably taking phone calls, all that good jazz on Monday. So that should be fun. It's the Halo Honk line.
Hello. What up, Todd? This is Dylan.
What's up, Dylan?
Man, freaking Boston. I think they just want to win because, the Boston Marathon thing and the whole thing going on soon during this weekend. So I think they're going to go whoop our asses because of that. I don't know. I'm very superstitious on those big events, that's a lot of things I want to say.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because if you haven't seen it and if you like documentaries, I just saw that Boston Marathon thing on Netflix last night.
Oh, my gosh, dude. Yeah. Actually, I think I did see that before, and the movie with Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, I didn't even know they made a movie about it.
Yeah, with Mark Wahlberg. If you love Mark Wahlberg, fucking watch it. I just got to say that.
Okay. Yeah, Mark Wahlberg's usually good in most things. Usually.
Yeah, this one is because he's from he's from that area. He's from New England area. So, yeah, he really took that pretty hard, performance because, he's a big New England fan. I think Patriots fan, Tom Brady fan, and yeah, you probably don't like him now.
Well, I mean, like I knew him and his buddy were big into Boston because it was like most of their movies were made in Boston, but like The Town, I love The Town. That was like one of my favorite movies. It's just it's frustrating because again, Boston's a team you should beat. And all these mistakes, I mean, like, again, they're finding ways to lose. Like we tightened up the bullpen wasn't too bad. They only allowed one run.
I know.
And, Sandoval pitched semi-decent, just threw too many pitches. And it's like, you should be able to score. You have a ton of guys dancing around on the bases, and they can't do anything.
Yeah, I just totally think freaking, what's his name, Gio Urshela, dude, or is it Jake Lamb or Mike Lamb?
I don't know nowadays.
I think the Lamb guy. Yeah, I'm gonna say Lamb. When he did those splits or that crazy play, when Gio Urshela made that throw, that was home game. I think it was a home. Oh no, I don't know when was that play, but that was earlier a few weeks ago or something like that. He made that play. Gio made that throw. Then the freaking Lamb made that freaking crazy stretch and somehow tagged the bag. I'm like, oh, okay. But Brendan Drury I think he's younger, and I guess he's not that athletic and not like a cheerleader legs.
Yeah.
God damn it, dude. I miss Jared Walsh. Even this guy has the most crappiest luck of them all, because I thought he was going to be the next best thing after Albert Pujols gone, I was like, fuck. Is that why we replaced Albert Pujols? Like, straight up a legend, a Hall of Famer, because want to get at bats for Ohtani as a DH and Jared Walsh playing time? Now this is turning into a bust?
Yeah.
I'm just frustrated at our infield. I'm so sad for our whole family right now. It's like your whole name is based on the infield. The Halos in the infield, and they fucked it up. I'm sorry. It's so frustrating. I'm like, I want to tell them, who you're making us look bad every single time. Freaking Luis. I'm sorry, Louis. I knew he was going to screw up this year because, like, dude, he just did that for whatever reason, like, hey, guys, thank God that you didn't trade me, right?
Well, I thought he finally turned the corner, but, again, it's for him, I think it's early, but you can't keep this into May. Like, at some point, he's got to be like Will Ferrell and
Sorry, we're going streaking.
He's got to go streaking.
He needs to slap himself. He needs to slap someone or something.
Exactly. All right, Dylan, well, good call, man. I'm going to grab one more call. Oh, you got one more thing?
Yeah. I'm just saying, hey, it's hard to, talk about all that stuff after Big Hammer, man.
Oh, yeah.
My thoughts and prayers, bro. I'm praying for you, brother.
Yeah, I gotta keep that boy up, man. Because school can be there can be some douches in school, man. They'll make things a lot harder than they have to be.
Being a teenager, man, sucks. Being a teenager sucks.
Oh yeah. I've been there, done that, man.
Take it easy.
You too, Dylan.
Bye.
Later. All right, just missed a phone call. If that person wants to call in real quick, I'll grab that call. I saw the number. They tried calling a couple times. I'll get you in on the last one if you want. Still talk before we get out of here, because otherwise I'm just going to wrap it up with 714 tickets. 714 tickets. If you want 10% off of any ticket purchase to a concert, Angels game, Ducks game, well, they're done. But the Kings and everybody else that's playing right now, you can get 10% off by just putting Heedy in that promo code, and then also getting 5% off of your next purchase, and also getting into the drawing for a jersey at the end of the month, free jersey courtesy of Halos in the Infield. A lot of people have been making purchases, and Ron Holt over there is very happy. So with that being said, again, if you want to call in one more time, that would be great. Give us a like and a subscribe on here. By far, I think, YouTube's running a lot better. I would love for Instagram to get on par, but they're not. And it might be something where if they're causing more issues, I'm just going to stay on here. And yeah, the comments don't come as much as they do on Instagram, but you guys do a good job. At least those that were on here today. You just got to get everyone else over there from Instagram. So spread the word. And then we got a bunch of upcoming announcements in the next couple weeks that are going to be huge, and I mean huge, for this page. And I think it's going to benefit all of you, because there's going to be a lot of things to give away, a lot of things you could win, and a lot of merch that if you like it, you can buy it if you can't win it. And also, it's not going to be like Cox in the Outfield, where their prices are like $45 for a shirt that'll probably shrink after the third wash. It's going to be like 20 at the most, maybe 25, just with a little bit of tax, because we have to put the tax in there, for a nice quality shirt with a badass logo by our boy Randy. It's like, dude, you can't beat that. And that's just one of the cool things coming out of the shoot later on. Mateo's asking for Roger Lodge. What did he have to say, or what do you think he has to say? Well, Roger Lodge would come off of this one like this, and you got our spin from start to finish as we did the show. But Roger Lodge's take would be, well, we had a good game. The balls just didn't bounce our way. And, you can't blame Rendon for that throw. It was a difficult throw to first. It was all that Lamb's job over there at first, and he messed it up. But the Angels are the best team in the world. Artie is my lover. John Stamos is my lover. He's going to be like, I ride my bike to Catella every day to get a paycheck from the Angels on AM 830 on the worst drive time show out there for sports. And when you want to talk Angels baseball and you want to be able to get a hold of me and I can let you say whatever you want, I'm going to tell you no. You got to be as positive as Magic Johnson. And also, we're going to talk UCLA basketball, Bill Walton in his shorts, and what are the Bruins' upcoming season going to look like? That's the Roger Lodge Show. So that being said, everybody, thank you so much for following me over here to YouTube. We got more content. If you haven't heard the podcast, we also got one coming up here for Randy. He's going to be doing one with Rob, coming up after this weekend, summing up the week that was. We have ours that dropped the other day, me, Fernando, and Courtney. If you want to check that out, we summed up the other series. So we have two good podcasts going on. JT dropped his first Major League Baseball show. He's got another one on Monday that's either going to be me and him, depending on James's health, or it's going to be James and him and me, or James and him. It's going to be a combination of that. And so if you want to just hear some more baseball outside of Angels baseball with a sprinkled in just a little bit of Angels baseball, we're going to talk Around the League show on Monday. Then you have the wrap-up show on Sunday. We got a lot of content. So during the regular season, and plus you got Halo Joe. Halo Joe's been throwing over some YouTube shorts and some YouTube videos here on Angels history. Very informative. Check those out. Share and like them to other Angel pages. That would really help. Get some of these more Angel fans involved. Because I'm telling you, they're going to want to get on board with us this season. 2023 is a huge season for your Halos in the infield. So with that being said, everyone have a good night. Try to enjoy it. I know it's frustrating, but let's just turn the page. Let's go 1-0 tomorrow against the freaking Dead Sox. Go Angels.